Hello, welcome back to Wario Land 3, and today we'll be doing 3 levels worth of gold coins, starting with the bank of the Wild River to finish off the northern area. After this video, we'll never have to come to the north again apart from for the temple. So the first one requires Vampire Warriors to get around this maze so we can kill this big frog. And on the left of the room, we find a coin over here. And then once we're normal Wario again, we can go this way, and go all the way to the bottom of this little area, avoiding all these fires because they're annoying. Because we don't want to end up with Fire Wario because it takes so long. If you don't need it anyway. So I'm being very careful with how I move here. So the next thing we need to do is we need to figure out which of these sets of walls to break through, because there's quite a lot of them, and a lot of them have hidden items in them, as we saw before with the chests. But first, we'll go through the current. And deliberately get attacked because we need to go up. Because there's a very well hidden coin right there that's like, I don't know how you'd know to go there. That's the kind of thing you only really find by luck. So what we really need to do now is count the things, because we need to go for the second one along. And this is the first one. So we need this one. This is quite a simple coin, and all that's really in this room is the coin. We just need to bring them up here. I quite like that even the ones that have their own little puzzles, sometimes the puzzle is just really simple like that, because some of the coins are just kind of little... I think that the reason they do it like that is so because some of the coins are just kind of give-me's, so that you have an idea of, oh, I've found half the coins in this level, and it gives you an incentive to keep looking for the other ones, because you know where half of them are. And you have a vague idea of the other ones because there are some areas you didn't go to yet. It's a pretty good way of kind of encouraging the player to explore without any major problems. Or like without them becoming lost and annoyed and getting frustrated, giving them at least some idea of the breadcrumbs of like, well, maybe there's something in this room that I haven't been in for a while. And then you just go in there and see what's in there. Quite interesting design the way they do that. I quite like that coin's hidden behind the fire blocks as well, because they're very well hidden fire blocks, which means they're optional ones. So the rest of them, now this is not really a problem, but it's a design thing that this game does quite a lot. Sometimes a level will have a maze type area like this one, this little vine maze, and often in those mazes there are a lot of gold coins hidden because there's a lot of places to hide them, which can make it a little bit annoying to navigate them and try and find the paths you haven't been down yet to find the coins you haven't got yet. And here I just keep completely missing the thing because it's kind of hard to judge the height of Wario here because it feels like that should have been enough, that should have been fine for him to grabbing it, but it has to be the very top of his fists that are grabbing the vines, otherwise it just doesn't work. But the next one's a bit easier to get to though, because it's just up here. You can see it right there. And again, have to get the actual thing right. There it is. So now we have to go basically to the end of the maze. But it's pretty close to the end anyway, because of course the last coin's right here. Now that's all the coins, so let's find an exit. Swim, Wario, swim. Even though I can swim against the current, it's so nice to be able to just swim along with it. Because it's just satisfying to just zoom across the screen like this. It's always fun though when you get to actually ride a current. Nearly finished this first row. Which is cool because this is the part of the thing that's kind of the most boring one in a lot of ways, because it's just the golden sky, so it's the least interesting part of the picture to uncover. I kind of wish it had worked like in the TV show Catchphrase, where you get kind of random things that you can kind of gradually fill in the colours all over the place, because it would make it more interesting. Also, sometimes you get, like, you had that in that really infamous episode of Catchphrase where the phrase was Snake Charmer, but it kept kind of uncovering the blocks in such a way that it made the image itself look kind of suspicious, which I always find quite funny, because I'm a giant child. So yeah, this fire thing's annoying, but as is this jump, because you have to be quite precise with the actual distance. It's quite hard to get the right horizontal distance if you're not dashing across anyway. So this is quite tricky really, is figuring out how to avoid bouncing off when you finish with this guy, but the trick is really just make sure you have plenty of space and that the last button you press is the one that goes in the direction you want to bounce in. For example there, I got all the way on the right of the ledge and started tapping left so that it would know I wanted to have Wario fly to the left. That's one of the more annoying coins, but we've got it now. But now we need this guy back. In a minute. For now, let's go to this maze. This is of course the second of a lot of maze areas that have 1 billion coins. And by 1 billion, I of course mean 3. So let's navigate the Octorok maze. No, not called Octoroks, but they kind of look like them. Well, actually, it's more like the octopus from the Mario games, which is appropriate given it's in the same universe. Like the one from Mario Galaxy. No, not Galaxy, Sunshine. With the cork in its mouth. That's a speedrun tactic. It's also completely accidental. At least it didn't flop me into a bubble. That would have been very annoying if it flung me into a bubble. I don't know if that's possible, or if it just goes through the bubble, because I've been good enough at the game to not let that happen until then. Which felt very stupid, but that was my fault. And yeah, there I just got ambitious. I don't know how I thought I'd slip through that. They were way too close together. So that's the coins in there. And now we have to go in these little blocks. Because there's a coin I think we've seen before. Some to this key. Right here. Now at the bottom of the room, we have to come in here as well. Because there's another coin in here. But it's also because we'll be back here later on, so I might as well clear the space. Come on, spear face, there we are. I'm glad I didn't throw it into the wall. It wouldn't have made a difference at this point, but it's good to keep the kind of like have the right practice in there. So let's leave that area now. Yeah, we know these levels pretty well at this point, so I'm starting to kind of skip around the areas we've already seen. But I'm at least showing you how we get to them, because it's been a while since we've seen how to get to a lot of these places, so at least you're still seeing the overall route, even if you're not seeing the route back. That part's unnecessary. But we're nearly done with this level now. And again, one of the more simple coins, one of the ones that's almost inevitable you'll get right at the beginning of the game when you first get here. Not the beginning of the game, but when you first unlock the level and get the silver key. It's actually almost harder not to get that coin. We have kind of an interesting little puzzle in here for the coin, but it's actually not in here. You think it'd be up there, but it's not. It's actually have to be flat Wario. And now we have to do this. That's a coin you probably wouldn't think to find. That's very well hidden, that one. So now it's time to leave the level. But first we need to unflatten ourselves. And it looks like nothing can actually do it from here. But the water can. I quite like you get a unique little kind of a animation for when you do it in water as well, that little thing where you just gradually inflate. That's a cool little animation that I'm glad I got to show off. I've completely forgotten about it, but yeah, we need this guy. Because we need to get to this exit. We want to get to this exit, because this is the one we're already at. And is that level complete? Finally we get colours other than yellow. So next it's time to go to Sea Turtle Rocks. I'm just kind of showing off the little icon that you get for completing the coin thing. It's a cool little icon. So Sea Turtle Rocks, this whole screen has a ton of coins. So first we need to start going through this labyrinth. Though it's really more of a maze though, because labyrinths don't have any dead ends, and this area does. Although actually more circuits more than dead ends though. So I guess labyrinth does fit. Although labyrinth actually only has a single path, so yeah, it's really more of a maze. But yeah, this whole level is very Lemmings though, with the way the background looks and everything like that, and the way the tiling's done. It definitely reminds me of how the Lemmings break through the levels in there. In that game, rather. Yeah, this whole area is just like a big maze with a lot of coins in it. I quite like how a lot of the coins, when you're actually looking for the coins, there's a lot of kind of like walls are tantalizingly close but not quite there. That's quite fun. So here we actually have a bit of a trick. We could fight the boss and go up the ladder, or we could break that. And now we can just jump up there. Life hack. Honestly, we probably could have also done that to actually get to the chest without beating the octopus boss, but that would not have been as satisfying. And there's so many little paths to unlock as well, and to get all the coins you kind of have to unlock all of them. Which is fair, given it's the post-game thing. It only makes sense that they make you do that. Yes, I'm aware you may have noticed earlier, but I did forget to turn off the cursor capture thing, which is very annoying. I'll have to remember to do that next time. I do like Wario's ridiculous teeth, the fact that you can even see it when it's not supposed to be closed. It gives a very kind of Bluto from Popeye kind of vibe in that, like, unlike Wario, who's kind of portly in the charming way, Wario's more portly in the intimidating way. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was a pretty obvious, like, design thing to make him very kind of Bluto-ish in the way he's built, compared to compared to Mario himself just being kind of chubby, but not really like that much. And yeah, that's quite a tricky one to time. That does make sense though, given Wario's entire thing is his avarice. So both of the coins in here are actually up here. One we get with by just jumping off the entire thing, and that one we've seen before. So that's 3 levels of coins in one video. And now we have completed the whole northern area. So join me next time as we go around to the next area and start clearing the levels there. Goodbye. I would like to thank James Rossi for supporting me on Patreon as my Bio-Enchanted leg tier. I really hope other people can also join my Patreon to help support my channel and help improve the amount of resources I have for making better videos and being able to put more time into more elaborate thumbnails and title cards and things like that. Because I'd like to be able to have more time to really work on those kind of visual aspects beyond the actual video itself. Thank you.